Now students, the giant had woken up by hearing a very sweet sound, sweet music, and he thought that it was the king's band passing by playing the music. And he also smelled the beautiful smell, the sweet smell coming out from the casement, open casement, that means the open window in his bedroom. And so he jumped out of his bed and he leaned out to see, because he was waiting for the spring season for quite a long time. So what did he see? Let us see. Uh, that when he looked out, he found that he saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in, and they were sitting in the branches of the trees. In every tree that he could see, there was a little child, and the trees were so glad to have children back again that they had covered themselves with blossoms and were waving their arms gently above the children's heads. The birds were flying about and twittering with delight, and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. So when he looked out of his window, he found that his garden was full of joy and happiness, because all the trees were full of new leaves and flowers, and each tree was having children in the branches, and the lawn was covered with soft green grass everywhere. The birds were chirping with joy. It was a lovely scene. Only in one corner was it still winter. It was the farthest corner of the garden, and in it was standing a little boy. He was so small that he could not reach up to the branches of the tree, and he was wandering all around it, crying bitterly. The poor tree was still quite covered with frost and snow, and the north wind was blowing and roaring above it. "Climb up, little boy," said the tree, and it bent its branches down as low as it could, but the boy was too tiny. So he found that everywhere in the garden all the trees were bearing beautiful flowers, sweet smelling flowers, having the children laughing and enjoying themselves, and the birds were everywhere flying and singing sweetly. They were also very happy to be back in the garden. And only at the farthest corner of the garden he found that single lonely tree was still covered with snow and frost, and the north wind was blowing over it, and under that tree a very small boy was trying to climb up the tree, but he was not finding. He was so small that he could not reach up to climb the tree, and he was crying and moving around the tree and trying to find out the way to climb it up. And the tree was also trying to help him out in climbing, because the tree had bent down its branches so that it could reach the little boy, and he could climb up. But still he was so small that he could not climb up the tree. And the giant's heart melted as he looked out. "How selfish I have been," he said. "Now I know why the spring would not come here. I will put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground for ever and ever." He was really very sorry for what he had done. So the giant had ultimately realized, by looking at the boy, he realized that he had been very selfish and why the spring season had not come into his garden for so long. So he decided that he would put that small boy on the top of that tree so that he could also enjoy himself like the other children. So he crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened that they all ran away, and the garden became winter again. So he quietly went out into his garden, but as soon as he stepped into his garden, when the children found him, when the children saw him, they were so afraid of him that they immediately ran away from the garden. And as soon as the children went out, the winter had once again come back in the garden. Only the little boy did not run, for his eyes were so full of tears that he did not see the giant coming, and the giant stole up behind him and took him gently in his hand and put him up into the tree. And the tree broke at once into blossoms, and the birds came and sang on it. And the little boy stretched out his two arms and flung them around the giant's neck and kissed him. Only the little boy, because his eyes were full of tears, so he could not see the giant, so he was still in the garden, and the giant picked him up very gently into his arms and put him on the tree, and immediately the tree burst out into flowers and the winter was gone from that tree. And the boy was also so happy that he wound his arms around the giant's neck and kissed him in thanks. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, came running back, and with them came the spring. "It is your garden now, little children," said the giant, and he took a great axe and knocked down the wall. So the children, when they found that the giant was helping the little boy climbing up the tree, they also came back, and as soon as they came back, again the spring season also came back into the garden. And the giant declared that this is your garden, children, and then he took up his great big large huge axe, and then he broke down the wall that he had erected around the garden. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they found the giant playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. All day long they played, and in the evening they came to the giant to bid him goodbye. "But where is your little companion?" he said, "the boy I put into the tree?" The giant loved him the best because he had kissed him. So in the evening, the children played throughout the day with the giant in his garden, and in the evening they came to the giant to say goodbye. But the giant did not see the little boy amongst them. So he asked that, "Where is your little friend whom I had put up on the tree?" Because he had kissed the giant, and the giant had immediately fell in love with that small beautiful boy. "We don't know," answered the children. "He has gone away." "You must tell him to be sure and come here tomorrow," said the giant. But the children said that they did not know where he lived and had never seen him before, and the giant felt very sad. So the children informed, the giant told them that, "Tell your little friend to come back with you tomorrow." The children informed that, "We don't know where does he live, we have never seen him before," and the giant felt very sad. Every afternoon when school was over, the children came and played with the giant, but the little boy whom the giant loved was never seen again. The giant was very kind to all the children, yet he longed for his first little friend and often spoke of him. "How I would like to see him," he used to say. The giant every day after the school, the children came into his garden and Giant played with them. But he missed that little boy. He was his first friend. So he always missed him, no matter how many small children came and played with him.